Welcome. In today's presentation, I'm going to show you how I was able to master my mindset and overcome the three biggest barriers when it comes to launching a successful fitness business. So if you've ever had any self-doubt when it comes to wondering whether or not you have the credentials to launch and grow a successful fitness business, then you are definitely in the right place. Okay, so my name is Lewis, and along with my brothers Mike and Russ, so Lewis here, Mike and Russ, along with us three, we are the creators of the MyFit30 franchise. And over the last 10 years, I've been able to launch and grow three successful businesses and have the easiest and most effective way for people like you who want to make an impact and transform people's lives through fitness to do exactly the same. So we started back in 2010. Here's a picture of our first gym, and then we moved on to our second fitness business in 2015. And like I said, we were able to launch and grow three successful fitness businesses since 2010, all the way up to 2020 in these photos, but 2021 now. So back in 2011, after 10 years in the industry already, not achieving what I wanted, I decided, along with my brothers Mike and Russ, that I wanted to launch my very own fitness business. At first, we made lots and lots of mistakes. So there were lots of times we wanted to give up, but fortunately we were able to get in the right frame of mind, essentially master our mindset and overcome all the obstacles and self-doubts that we had. By doing this and understanding how to overcome the three biggest barriers people face when starting a fitness career, we were able to develop and implement the correct strategies so that our business grew, like I said, not to one, but three thriving locations. So you may not know this, but there's a huge misconception about being successful in the fitness industry. And today I'm going to share with you why you don't need years of experience, lots of fancy qualifications, or even expensive facilities to have a thriving fitness business that gives you fulfillment and freedom. I'm going to show you how I was able to go from a failing personal trainer, working all the hours under the sun, to multiple fitness business owner, even though I had no business experience whatsoever. And today I'm going to walk you through that. So firstly, those three barriers that I spoke about. So barrier number one is but I have no experience. So this is something that we hear a lot of the time, and why people get stuck in a rut is because they say they have no experience, so they never make that first step. We've got barrier number two. I'm going to unveil the biggest obstacle you face. And then barrier number three, another thing that people say to themselves, why would anyone listen to me? Yeah, so it's another thing that keeps you stuck and stops you from making progress. But before I get into the nitty-gritty details, let me show you how I actually discovered the best way to launch and grow a successful fitness business that gives you fulfillment and freedom and allows you to work less hours while earning more money. So back in 2010, I made the decision, not 2010, back in 2006 probably, I made a decision to get my fitness qualifications and work in a gym. So I've been in and out of gyms, but this is when I really nailed down, decided I was going to go full-time in it. And before I got stuck in, I thought that I was pretty much very unhappy in my job, and I just knew the usual 9 to 5 wasn't for me, and I needed to make a change. Even though I dipped my toe into working in gyms, I always went back to the 9 to 5. Really, at this point, fitness was always something I was really passionate about, and I wanted to have more of an impact and do something I loved on a daily basis. It certainly wasn't easy making the decision to jump headfirst into the fitness industry. I had to give up my steady and predictable income to do something completely new and out of my comfort zone. But after securing a job in a gym, I got qualified. I was certainly full of energy and optimism for my new path, but unfortunately it didn't quite work out how I imagined. And a lot of the time I was either sitting at the desk, cleaning equipment, or just doing pretty much nothing on the gym floor. And it wasn't something that I'd contemplated when setting out to try and transform people's lives through health and fitness. So the hours were long. It was unsociable. The few clients I did have were pretty much very flaky, very inconsistent. There was no predictable income, and I definitely started to doubt whether or not I'd made the right decision. So a little bit of time passed, and eventually a fellow PT I was working with asked me to help out running a boot camp. So we did that over the local park, and it really was a great experience. We had a big group of people. We did an 8-week transformation program. We met there twice a week. The atmosphere was something that I'd never really experienced in the gym, and the results we got were a lot better. They were really amazing. So this is when I realised group training, transformations, and community were what people wanted to do most. I also realised I didn't have to work all the hours under the sun in the gym, on the gym floor, to make an impact. Like, essentially, I could bring people together, big groups, and I could leverage my time. I could work on my own terms, I could make more money, I could work less hours. And like I said, really this was all about making a bigger impact on people and actually getting better results for my clients. So in this scenario, it was a complete win-win. Yeah, it was a win for me and it was a win for my clients as well. So this is when I moved forward and my first fitness business was born. So we did open a pretty fancy facility. We bought lots of equipment, spent a lot of money, and we had an array of different classes alongside our signature boot camp. So we still did the boot camp, but we had all these other classes going on as well. And essentially there was a problem when we got started. So even though we'd kitted out our new gym with all the best equipment, all these different classes to choose from, we opened the doors and no one turned up. Not one person turned up. And it really was a gutner for us, and we were left scratching our heads as to why this happened. We didn't really know why this had happened. So when we stopped to think about it, the answer was pretty obvious, yeah. When we took the boot camp in the park, if we go back to that boot camp in the park that I first did, it wasn't about fancy facilities or equipment. It was really about the community that we created. It was the people, it was the results that we got people. Yeah, it was more than a fancy facility. Like I said, we were running this out of the local park with no equipment whatsoever, yet people were getting better results and having a better time. So essentially what we had done when we opened our facility is we'd done the opposite of what I'd learned in those 8 weeks, and we needed to get back to what worked. So this is when our renowned 30-day challenge was born. Okay, so we designed a challenge. We got rid of every usual class you'd see in a local gym because we wanted to be different. We wanted to stand out. And all we did was focus on the 30-minute MyFit 30 concept. Yeah, so we essentially got twice the results in half the time for the people that we worked with. We got the messaging right. We started to understand what our clients wanted, and everything changed. And essentially, more and more people started coming through the doors. So if we fast forward a little bit, we're 10 years later. We have 3 fitness businesses. We've helped transform literally thousands of people's lives. Some of them you can see on this slide. And we're helping others do the same too. So we're helping other people be in a position to run a fitness business as well. And these people don't need to make the mistakes that we initially did. So we've made the mistakes so that when we help other people, you can bypass all that and speed the process up. So when I look back at what we've achieved, there's one big thing really that transformed everything, and that was a change in our mindset. Okay, we went from having huge self-doubt and questioning everything we did. Okay, so when no one walked through the doors, we definitely had some self-doubt. We were really deep into what we were doing, and our minds were taking over. Rather than look at what we couldn't do and what we couldn't achieve, we started to look at the obstacles that we were coming up against as challenges. And we realised that once we got into the right mindset, we were more than capable of overcoming anything and everything. Yeah. So before we go into these 3 barriers, I just want you to understand that barriers are just limiting beliefs. Yeah. So a limiting belief is any belief that you currently have that is holding you back from what you truly want and deserve. Yeah. So if you have a belief that is not allowing you to achieve what you want, then that is a barrier, a limiting belief. Okay. They are not necessarily the truth, and they are not necessarily facts. Okay. They are just a story and a thought process that you have created in your own mind. Okay, it's your own personal reality. It's not actually the reality of what's going on. So you've got to understand that any limiting belief can be overcome with a shift in your mindset. And once you change your mindset, the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit, and you can change your life and you can do something that you love and enjoy. Okay, so with that said, let's go into the details of how to make this happen for yourself. Okay, so we'll go on to the first barrier. And the first barrier is, but I have no experience. Yeah, something that people will say to us when we say anyone with passion for fitness can run a successful fitness business. Yeah, but I have no experience. And the idea here is that you've created barrier number 1 by telling yourself either you aren't knowledgeable enough, you aren't good enough before you can follow your dreams. Yeah, you think that you need years of experience and an array of all sorts of different qualifications before you have the credentials to actually move forward with your passion. And the reality is is that that limiting belief number one, and the first story you tell yourself when it comes to taking action and following your passion. Okay, this is what the reality is. It's just the story that you tell yourself that stops you from following your passion. It keeps you stuck in a rut, and it keeps you unable to change. Okay, if you believe that having experience is the only thing you need to move forward, and you haven't got it, then really there's no other out. Yeah, you can't get out of this rut, and you will be unable to change. But the good news is, it's super easy to overcome when you know how. So this is what most people do when they want to start a fitness career. Yeah, so they decide in order to get into the industry, they need to get super qualified. First, they'll do their level 2, then their level 3, then they'll spend a few months walking around the gym floor, just hoping they'll get some clients, usually while paying an extortionate rent to the gym owners, or pretty much working for free. A lot of gyms will make you work for free just so you can use their facility. And a few months will go by and things will never quite be as they seem. So, of course, it must be because you aren't qualified enough and you don't offer enough services. So that's what people generally think. Yeah, they get those initial qualifications. They don't get many clients. They don't make the money they want. So it must be because I'm not qualified enough and I need to offer more services. So it's back to the classroom for another expensive qualification that actually won't help you get many, if any, new clients at all. Yeah. So unfortunately, when it comes down to getting clients and making a living, these people are left very disheartened and demotivated. Okay, what usually happens is these individuals quit. Yeah, they don't keep pushing forward. They don't end up following their dreams. They quit because they're just left disheartened. Yeah, so this is what happened to me in the early days. I thought if I was the most qualified person in the room, the clients will be knocking my doors down. So simple as that. I thought if I get more qualified, I'm going to get more clients. That's all it takes. And the thing is, it's taken a lot of time and money for me to get super qualified, but it hadn't actually helped me to make any relationships on the gym floor. It hadn't helped me get clients' life-changing results, and it hadn't allowed me to escape the 9 to 5. If anything, I was working longer and I was earning less money, and I definitely was becoming very demotivated at this point of my journey. Okay, so at this point I had a choice. Yeah, rather than do any more qualifications, I was going to search out what successful people were doing. Yeah, so success leaves clues, and instead of wasting time and money on qualifications that were not helping me grow a successful fitness business, I started going to seminars run by people who were achieving what I wanted to achieve, and I started surrounding myself with people who had already cracked the code. Yeah, so there were people out there that were successful in the fitness industry. I went and started speaking to, watching these people talk, going to seminars, getting involved with courses that they were actually running on how to run a successful business rather than getting more qualified. Okay, I did quickly realise that I certainly didn't need any more qualifications, and instead what I needed was a proven roadmap that guaranteed success. From then onwards, I invested in numerous mentors and coaches that helped me work with more people, change more lives, and ultimately give me the financial stability and freedom that I wanted. Okay, so this is what it's about. I wanted to help people. I wanted to change people's lives through health and fitness, but I also needed financial stability, and I needed a benefit from it myself. Okay, and that's why I did this, and that's why I had to surround myself with these people rather than do any more qualifications. So that's why after the launch of 3 successful fitness businesses, so once I did this, I was able to launch these 3 businesses, and then we developed over time the MyFit30 franchise model. Yeah, so people like you who have a passion for fitness, just like me back in the early days, I still have a passion for fitness now, and want to make an impact on other people's lives, can take the fastest route to success. And that's what it's about. We want to take the fastest route to success. Yeah, I'm here to tell you that you don't need to waste money doing expensive qualifications, and you don't need to spend years and years gaining experience. You just need help and guidance from someone who has already done it. Okay, there's a goal that you have, there's a position that you want to be in, and there's people out there who have already done it. So model their success. Okay, and essentially, like I said, that's why we developed the MyFit30 franchise. So there are a few steps to success when it comes to running a fitness business. And you've taken some of these steps already. So step number 1 is the discovery call. So if you're watching this, it's more than likely that you've already had a 30-minute discovery call with one of the team. Then you get the franchise information. Yeah, so this is what this is. Part of this talk, the video series, the prospectus, that's all the information that you need to understand what MyFit30 is. You then have a 10-minute follow-up call. Hopefully you're booked into that already, where we can discuss all the information that you've been given. And then after that call, you make a decision whether or not this opportunity is for you. If the opportunity is for you and you want to move forward with your passion and get into the fitness industry and actually be successful, we secure your territory. We apply for the funding if you need to. Not everyone needs to apply for funding, but we have government-backed funding you can take as well. So if that's something you need to do, that will be step number 6. Once we've done that, we go through the MyFit30 Training Academy. Okay, so we have a franchise academy where all your training takes place. Everything you need to know to be successful in the fitness industry happens in that academy. You have mentors and coaches. There's a lot of online stuff as well. It's just everything you need to know is in that academy. Okay, once you've gone through that academy and we're getting closer to the launch date, then we secure your first venue. We then launch your MyFit30 franchise using all the strategies you've learned within the academy. And essentially that leads to your success. Okay, so these are the 10 steps to success. And this is all you need to do by following someone who's already done it. This means really you can have true freedom and fulfillment in your career without having to figure everything out for yourself. All you need to do is follow this proven plan that is guaranteed to succeed. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably having 1,000 thoughts of fear, self-doubt, and coming up with reasons why it might not work specifically for you. And that's what brings me to the next barrier. So the next barrier is the biggest obstacle you face. And the idea here is that there's one huge obstacle that stands in your way, and it's you. Okay, the reason why is it's usually the stories we tell ourselves and the self-doubt we create in our own minds that hold us back from our success. You can believe in the opportunity. You can logically understand that this is the best chance of success. So you can process all these things logically, but if you have a niggling inner voice in your head, pretty much that little devil on your shoulder telling you that you aren't good enough, then it's very obvious that this can keep you stuck and unable to follow your passion. This really is all about the limiting beliefs and the stories that you tell yourself. Okay, so I'm guessing right now you may have a number of self-doubts and beliefs. Okay, and that could be anything from I could never start my own business for whatever reason that is. It could be I'm not clever enough, confident enough, experienced enough. We've already spoken about experience. It could be I'm stuck in a job I hate and it's getting me down, but what if I tried and I failed? Okay, it's looking at the worst case scenario rather than looking at the best case scenario. It could be, what would my friends and family think if I left my steady and reliable job and followed my passion? Okay, so what would other people think? And really that always comes back to the only reason you worry about what other people think is because maybe it's what you think about yourself. So again, this comes back to you. It could be, I'm deeply unfulfilled in my life right now and my career, but I don't know what to do and I wouldn't even know where to start. Okay, and that's why you need help and guidance, because someone else was in your position, they have success and they can show you the path. Okay, it could be I have no choice but stay trapped in a job that I hate. I need to pay the bills and my family are my number one priority. The thought of failing and ending up unemployed is one I just can't cope with. Okay, and that's an understandable limiting belief. Yeah, we have other people that rely on us, but again, this is just something that you tell yourself and you're pretty much reflecting your thoughts on what other people may think about you, but it's really what you think about you and the story that you're making up in your head, because there are people out there who have done it and can show you how to do it yourself. Essentially, this list goes on and on. And the key thing about this is these are all things that you currently think about you, and they focus on what you fear and not what you want. Okay, so I guess the question is now, so how do you overcome this limiting belief, and crush any self-doubt? let me elaborate, okay? So back in 2010, when our first facility opened, we were super, super excited that our dream was about to come true. We opened the doors, we got ready to welcome the hordes of people who were going to rush through the doors. But as you already know, not one person turned up. And this had a massive effect on our self-belief and confidence. And essentially everything we feared had come true. At this moment, though, we had a choice. We could either listen to that inner voice telling us we weren't good enough, telling us we'd made a mistake, or we could put our focus and energy into what we wanted to happen, which was be super successful, or what we feared would happen, and that no one would turn up ever. And the funny thing is, whichever you choose, you're probably right. Okay, so for that point, we had chosen to go with the fear that no one would turn up. It probably would have been the case. Yeah, but what we did, we chose to focus on what we wanted. Okay, we chose to overcome obstacles and challenges, and because we changed the narrative in our head, we challenged our inner voice and we focused on what we wanted, not what we feared, we were able to launch and grow these 3 thriving fitness businesses. Okay, we've worked with thousands of ladies helping transform their lives, and we've been able to have the fulfillment and freedom doing a job that we actually love. Okay, not doing something that we don't want to do just for the sake of it. We're genuinely doing something that we love, and we're changing people's lives. Yeah, so, and this isn't because we're anything special, we have some secret talent. It's because we stopped worrying what could go wrong and started working on what was going to go right. Okay, this is a simple mindset shift that means you too can be successful in the fitness industry and have a huge impact on other people without constantly questioning if you're knowledgeable enough, confident enough, clever enough, fit enough, in the best shape. Ultimately, once you focus on what you want versus what you fear, then the likelihood is you will reach the destination and the goal that you want. Okay, so the next thing you're probably asking yourself is you may have the help that you need, you now may be more inclined to think you can have the self-confidence and you have the passion, but it can't be as simple as that. Yeah, it can't be as simple as A to B. And how do I actually go up against maybe the big boys in the industry? How do I go up, and why would anyone listen to me? Okay, so you're going to be doing, you're going to have a small community, you're not going to have the fancy facilities, and there's all these big commercial gyms, so why would anyone listen to me? And it's a legitimate question. Yeah? And the idea here is that even if you have no experience running a fitness business, you can be the go-to expert in your local area, and you can go up against the big boys and you can win. Okay, often we speak to people that give us all the reason why it will be so hard for them. They don't have the fancy facility, there's so much competition, they haven't got the years of experience, and so on and so on. Okay, once again, these are all limiting beliefs and barriers that are holding you back from your success. And you actually don't need any of these things to launch and grow a super successful fitness business, because most people actually hate the idea of a commercial gym. Okay, these places are intimidating, they're overwhelming, and they don't really focus on what your clients want most. And what your clients want most is community. Okay, so when we first started out, we thought we need the fanciest facility and the most expensive equipment, and we did that. And it turns out it wasn't what got people through the doors. Okay, what does is understanding your client better than anyone else. It's creating a place they can come and not feel judged. It's friendship. It's being surrounded by like-minded people. And when we realised this, it meant we were able to spread our message far and wide. And it created an absolute win-win scenario. Okay, so our clients got a better experience because of this. So they stayed more motivated and they were more consistent. And this meant they got better results, which means we were able to keep more clients for longer, allowing us to grow at rapid speed. Okay, and this really is the key. And the best thing is, with the people we work with, no one out there is helping these people. No one talks their language. No one fulfills their needs, which means you can. Okay, and if you do this, it doesn't matter if you run your fitness business from a local hall, an AstroTurf, a sports hall. It really doesn't matter about any of these things. What it means is you can make a huge impact and grow a wildly successful fitness business without pretty much any competition. Okay, and as you can see from these photos, that's what we do day in, day out. Okay, so let's have a little recap of what we learned in this training. Yeah, so I showed you barrier number 1, okay, and how having no experience shouldn't hold you back from following your passion. All you need to do is follow a proven blueprint, meaning you don't need to figure anything out for yourself in order to launch and grow a successful fitness business. Yeah, you don't need the experience because someone else out there is willing to help you and already has the experience. Barrier number 2, and how the biggest thing holding you back from your success is you. Once you shift your mindset from focusing on what you fear to what you want and make the choice to change your inner voice to one that thrives off the challenge, you can have true freedom and fulfillment doing something you love every single day. Okay, and then barrier number 3, and how to become the go-to expert, meaning you'll have zero competition and you'll always have people knocking down your door wanting to join your unique community. And that's what it's about. It's about building that unique community that builds friendships and gets great results. We all have barriers, and those who succeed will always find a way to overcome the challenges in life and in business. Okay, I want to leave you with this one quote that sums up the journey for everyone who ever has had a goal and has the courage to work towards it. Okay, so the obstacle is the way. You can come up against barriers and obstacles and give up and stay stuck in a rut, or you can face them head on, get help from those who have already done it, and succeed. Essentially, the choice is absolutely yours. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this training, and I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon.